They want to merge human with machine, which is witchcraft. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity, while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return, and double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And the inspiration for this video came from a title of an article which I found from blacklistednews.com right here, which is currently on page 1 at the moment. And right here it says Cyborg Soldier 2050. Okay. Now in Psalms the 73rd chapter, it tells you that their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their houses to many generations. Okay, it says human machine fusion, and ultimately this is what they want, because in the mind of these so-called elites and these other higher echelon amongst the Illuminati, you know, they pretty much want to fuse people with machines. Why? So they can further control them, okay? Because remember, they want to have full control over everybody on this planet. So they intend on doing that by fusing mankind with machine. And why is that? Well, first, let me ask you this. What is a machine? A machine is basically a device that is controlled through a computer board, which the brain of that computer board is controlled through what? A chip. Okay? No matter of fact, if you look all around you, okay, most of the technology that we have today is tied to what? A computer operated motherboard, with the brain being that motherboard, which is the chip. The chip pretty much gives all of its functions to everything that is on the motherboard. So if you press a button on a keyboard or on a controller or on a remote control, the chip automatically gives information and instructions as to what the motherboard ought to do concerning that particular function. So like on a remote control, you press the number 1, the chip inside the motherboard sends out information to the motherboard and other devices, you know, like, hey, look, this person pressed this particular number, therefore, you know that information is then generated through a sensor through your remote control, which then sends information to your TV. So a machine is something that is controllable through a device known as a chip, being the brains of the motherboard, you know. And then you got all the wires, the components, and everything that's connected to that motherboard. So you see, they want everybody to be controllable through a device. And that's what this whole agenda of transhumanism is about. They'll tell you that, oh, no. This whole transhumanism agenda is all about transcending the human limits, which now, while some of it is true, because remember, we're talking about the devil here. In order to tell a lie, you must know the truth. And while there is some truth to it, because you technically are transhuman, you are technically transcending the human capabilities by fusing yourself with Macine, but there is a wicked agenda behind it. You see, they want you to have robotic legs. That way, if you do something that is undesirable, all they have to do is press a button or say a particular thing to the computer. That way, when the computer picks up on a function, okay, copy, shutting down number 113456734562332. And just like that, now you're unable to use your artificial limbs. Now you're unable to use your robotic legs. Why? They were shut down. And without your robotic legs, you can't move. What you gonna do? You're gonna get mad? You're gonna cuss them out? This is what they want. They want to fuse people with machines so they can control their movements. They can control where they go. They can control when they eat, how they eat. They want to control your very bodily functions. And that's why there's so many shows and animes and cartoons coming out with characters, even in video games, characters who have robotic like limbs that's able to perform all these powerful features. But what they're not telling you is that those robotic limbs can be cut off at any moment. And all they have to do is press a button and boom, you're unable to use your right robotic arm. They press another button, boom, you're unable to use your left robotic leg. Now, while it may seem cool to have robotic limbs, know that at any time that can be shut off via a supercomputer. And who do you think owns the supercomputer? The U.S. government does. Because the supercomputer basically has priority and power over every computer on this planet. Laptops, your desktop, your PS4, your Xbox, your TV, even these different robots, which are being manufactured by DARPA. So, if they were to press a particular button on the supercomputer, they could basically shut off anything at any time, at any moment.
Monkey has been able to control.
And before I play this video, I just want to say, fair use. Fair use. This video is not for monetary gain, but rather for educational purposes. So without further ado, let's play the video.
Monkey has been able to control the computer with his brain.
A monkey has been able to control the computer with his brain. And then what do you see right here? You see Neuralink, merging man with machine. You see? So think about it, right? A lot of people, they're going to get that charagma, that CHIP inside of their brain, so they'll be able to do things like what? you'll be able to do things on your smartphone without having to touch it. You know, cause see, these devils, they're gonna make the MOTB as appealing and as cool as possible in order to trick and deceive people into taking it, not knowing that people are being led to their own damnation. You know, oh wow, I can play video games just by using my brain. How cool is that, dude? So, hey, a lot of people's gonna be deceived into taking it. Okay.
So your brain is composed of neurons. Neurons connect together and form a network that can talk to each other through synapses. They're the connection points between neurons, and they communicate using...
And these devils are a bunch of mad scientists, okay? The scriptures tell you in, what is that, Ezekiel? Okay, these devils are more wiser than Daniel.
Chemical signals, known as neurotransmitters. All of your senses, everything you experience in life, it's all just neurons firing, electrical signals, or otherwise known as action potentials. When neuron spikes occur, these neurotransmitters are released. Information is then relayed across its synapses and eventually reaches another neuron. Now multiply this process by 100 billion and that's your brain in a nutshell. Electrodes are the way that Neuralink and other medical practices study your brain activity. By placing these electrodes close to neurons, the action potentials that create electric fields inside your brain can be detected and transferred to a machine that records and measures the data. Neuralink plans to use this to its advantage. Your brain has two main systems, your limbic system and your cortex. These two are in a relationship with each other. Your limbic system is responsible for your basic emotions, your survival instinct. Your cortex is responsible for your problem-solving skills, your critical thinking. It's where your consciousness exists. Neuralink is aiming to create a third layer to this. The implants will be a third wheel in this role.
You see that? A third layer, which is basically a third titty, right? What's the point of a woman having a third titty when she already have two titties? You know what I mean? Excuse my vulgar language, but, you know, a third wheel. There's no need for a third wheel. But you see, this is Esau basically saying, you know, the Most High's creation was not perfected. And that's just simply blaspheme. And you know, that's a part of that blaspheme spoken of in Revelation. Okay. Now, I want to get it on here, but you know, the more windows I open up on this thing, the slower my laptop will start getting. So let's go to Revelation chapter 17. And I'll just hit verse 1. Get to the point here. Okay. Okay. So no, it was written full of blasphemies. Okay, so this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 3. It says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet, which scarlet is another word for red. Okay, scarlet colored beast, full of the names of what? Blasphemy. Full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, blasphemy. So let me see something because you know these devils, they're going to keep on blaspheming the Heavenly Father in his tabernacle until he's taken out of the way. Bible, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against KJV. I'm just gonna type it in verbatim. Okay. So check this out, right? Revelation chapter 13, verse 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, to blaspheme his name. Because what's a part of blaspheming the Heavenly Father's name? Well, you know, you're basically saying that the Lord's creations are imperfect, and that it can be perfected via technology. Which Esau's technology at the end of the day is nothing but witchcraft. It's sorcery. You see? It's nothing but witchcraft and sorcery. Okay? And his tabernacle in them that dwell in heaven. So, you know, here it is, you know, Esau, you know, he's trying to merge the Lord's creation with Macine, and basically that's blasphemy, because you're saying that, in the book of Genesis, you know, when Yahweh Shai and the angels created men, you know, you're basically saying that it wasn't good. That's what you're saying. You're saying that their creation wasn't good. You're saying that it was not perfect. So, you know, here comes this devil coming with a pseudoscience, you know, saying, you know, there's another way to perfection. And his idea of achieving perfection is through putting a CHIP into someone's brain, and basically enhancing the neurons which are in your brain. And that's just total madness. Because Macine was never meant to be merged with men. Okay? How depressing is it to have artificial limbs? You know? You scratch your arm and you can't even feel it. You can't even feel yourself scratching yourself. That's depressing, man. You know, the Lord created our bodies the way that it is created so we can enjoy life. So we can enjoy the warmth of the sun. So we can enjoy feeling the grass under our toes, under our feet as we're walking through it. So we can feel the cool breeze from the wind blowing on us. You know, you can't enjoy those type of things with artificial intelligent limbs. You just can't. So these devils are blaspheming by saying that the Lord's creations are imperfect, but it can be perfected by the merging of mankind with Macine, which is really a trap at the end of the day to further allow the so-called elites to completely control people. Remember that experiment they did with that bull? They had some kind of thing on the bull's head, and as soon as the bull went to go charge at the guy, he pressed a particular button, and basically the bull chilled out. The bull was like, nah, bro, I can't do this. Well, that's what they want. If you rebel or if you disobey against the so-called elites, they want to make it to where they press a particular button and basically you just shut down.
Relationship, but would increase our capabilities by multiple orders of magnitude. They plan to increase the number of neurons that you can access regularly, that you can use to remember things or regain access to certain parts of your brain that may no longer be active. This is extremely useful for medical patients, some of which who had absolutely zero options up until Neuralink became a reality. The goal is to make this one of the most...
And he cause of all, like it tells you in Revelation 13 verse 16, a lot of people are going to willfully take the MARK, the CHIP, so they can walk again, so they can see again, so they can hear again. Some people is going to take it because it's going to become the new fashion trend. Some people are going to take it because, you know, they'll be able to do all these features like being able to unlock your phone just by thinking about it, and being able to browse the web without having to physically have a phone on you, and all this other shit. It's all a trap to further control you. It's all a trap to further control you.
Simple procedures there is, similar to people getting LASIK to improve their vision. But why do we even need this in the first place? Well, in most cases...
You see, look. Why we even need this in the first place, right? The Lord don't make mistakes. If somebody has blurry vision, that's the judgment the Lord brought upon that person for whatever they did in their past life or in their present life. If somebody is born with 2 fingers and 1 thumb, that was not a mistake. The Lord did that on purpose. Why? Judgment. Okay? And a matter of fact, let's prove that is judgment. Okay? Okay? Because when you die and you go back to the spirit world, the Lord brings judgment on you for whatever you did in that life before you died. So then the next time you're reincarnated, the next time your spirit is sent back down to the earth inside the body of a newborn baby, your judgment is played out here on the earth. And I saw under the sun that judgment was there. KJV. Okay, Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. You see that? So under the sun, which we're under the sun, right? We're not above the sun, we're under the sun, where the place of judgment takes place. So if somebody is born with a missing leg, you know, you might have joined twins, like, you know, 2 people who are born together, 2 people who share the same body. That's a curse. I mean, could you imagine having to share the body? Could you imagine being born? You know, you literally sleep with your twin. You know, like literally, y'all share the same body. There's people like that out there. You know. Okay, they call them joined twins. Where no, there's 1 body, 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 butt, but 2 necks and 2 heads. Okay? Judgment. That's the judgment the Lord brought upon that individual for whatever they did in their past life. Okay? I mean, imagine sharing the body of somebody else, man. What if you're right in the middle of a match on a video game, but then your twin says to you, "I got to shit." Now you got to put down the controller. You got to go to the bathroom right along with your twin, and then you got to smell your twin's own shit. But anyways, let's get back to the video.
It's a bandwidth.
But the point that I'm trying to make is the Lord don't make mistakes, okay? If you're blind, the Lord did it to you because of the judgment He brought upon you for your wickedness you committed in your past life. The Lord does not make mistakes. If the Lord wanted to create a perfect being, He would have done so. He already did so. Remember? Adam and Eve, Adam, he was the first perfect man ever created. Before Adam knew about evil, he only knew good. So he was perfect. But what happened? His woman presented to him that the wicked knowledge of these other nations. and then he became imperfect.
Issue. Now, many people hear this but don't exactly understand what that means. It's a speed problem. It's an energy problem. It's how fast you can get information into or out of your brain. If you have something that you want to write down on a computer, you have to type it with your hands, or speak it into a microphone. That's probably going to mess it up. If you want to learn something, it could take days, weeks, months, or even years to fully grasp. If we were able to solve this bandwidth issue,
And rather, if you believe it or not, the Lord has it that way. Okay? Because imagine if you wanted to learn something and then, it was just handed to you. I mean, well, was there any commitment behind it? Was there any determination behind it? Was there any motivation behind it? No. The Lord set it up to where it would take you years or even months to learn something, because the Lord wants you to commit to whatever you're trying to learn. That's just like the Holy Scriptures. The Lord does not want us to know every single mystery of the Holy Scriptures overnight. No, He wants us to be committed to worshiping Him and studying and researching. But no, Esau is always trying to find the easy way out. Well, instead of spending 3 years trying to learn this and and how about you learn it overnight? You wake up and you can do this and you can do that. Look, man. Look, it's called discipline. It's called patience. It's called commitment. But nah, Esau, he wouldn't know anything about that. Not unless it's in wickedness.
we could accomplish exponentially more in less time with much less physical effort. Neuralink cuts out the middleman and allows input and output directly.
And who's the middleman? That's Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And that's their ultimate goal. They want to cut Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai off in the earth. Okay? Because the middleman is who? That's the mediator. Because if you're an Israelite, right? An Israelite, which would be a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indian, right? If you're an Israelite, where do we get our information from concerning what we're going to do when we wake up? Whatever plans we may have. Where do all that information come from? It comes from the Heavenly Father through His Son Yahweh Shai. It comes from the Heavenly Father Yahweh through His Son Yahweh Shai. Okay? So the middleman is really Yahweh Shai. Because what is a middleman? A middleman is like a mediator. Okay? So our pineal glands, right, which is where our spirit is at, that our pineal gland is like our antennas. It's what we use to spiritually connect to the heavenly, to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Okay? It's how our spirits receive information from the spirit world. So pineal gland, where our spirit dwells. This is how we constantly receive information back and forth from the spirit world to the physical realm. Okay, and that information comes from on high. Okay? If the Lord wants you to operate at a higher frequency, well, He can do that by sending massive information to your spirit from the spirit world. But you see, Esau wants to cut that off, and he wants to give you his carnal way of giving your pineal gland information. You see that? So this is Esau trying to play God. Esau wants to be that middleman. And that's why he wants to put a CHIP inside your brain. So he can be that middleman. So he can control your thoughts. So he can control your emotions, your movement. You see that? Which takes me to this right here. Let's go to Ezekiel 28, verse 1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, because thine mind is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not the Most High, Yahweh, though thou set thine heart as the heart of Yahweh. Okay, so you devils, you Edomites, you're nothing but a man. You're not on the level of the Most High. Okay, for he is in heaven, and thou art on earth. You're on earth just like how I'm on earth, just like how everybody else that's living is on earth in the physical realm.
Directly from your brain to whatever you're doing on it. Neuralink cuts out the middleman and allows input and output directly from your brain to whatever you're doing on a machine, or vice versa. It's like going from writing using a quill, to having a pencil, to having a keyboard, to having Siri, to now potentially having nothing but the power of your own brain. This is where brain-machine interfaces come in, and they change everything. A brain-machine interface, or BMI, is composed of two things: a brain and a machine. The machine could be anything: a phone, a computer, a bionic arm.
A bionic arm, which is what? A machine. You see that? Bionic arms, bionic limbs, which is what I was going into earlier. And what's a machine? A machine is basically a device that is controlled through a motherboard, with the chip inside the motherboard being the brain of that motherboard. And you see, by them sending information to that chip inside the motherboard, you know, they can basically, through that chip, which is the brain of the motherboard, control that machine. And this is what we're trying to tell you people. Especially, this is what we're trying to tell you Israelites, man. Esau wants full control of you, okay? You know, and they've been showing you what they've been wanting to do to you the whole time. Matter of fact, let's go to Bing.com, because they have better pictures. Okay, so let's type in Teen Titans, and then like I said before, they've been showing you in like cartoons, animes, what they've been wanting to do to you, Jake. Let's go to images, because Cyborg is also seen in DC Universe. Okay, now what nationality does he appear? Look at that. He looked like a so-called black person, right? And what does he have? Robotic features. Look at this. Half human, half machine. You see that? And Esau knows what he's doing when he says human. Because what does the word human mean? The word human means a man of color. Human is a compound word, which is two words, hue, and then you got the word man. The word hue, H-U, is short for H-U-E, which means color. Then you got the word man. So look at that. He's half human, right? And half machine. This is what they want to turn you into, Jake. This is what they want to turn you into, Jake. Okay? This is what they want to do to you. They want to turn you into a machine. Okay? Mortal Kombat 11 Jax. Look at that. You see that? Robotic arms. This is where he gets his strength from. Esau's technology. Robotic arms. Okay. Robotic arms. See, now I'm just showing you some examples here. Okay. This is what they want to turn you into. Overwatch, Lucio. Open your eyes, Jake. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. Overwatch Lucio. Look at his legs here. Those are not his real legs. You see that? You see that? These are not his real legs. This is Lucio right here. His upper body is all torso, arms, neck, head. But down here, what do you see? You see Macine. Merging human with machine. You know, okay, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot more. There's a lot more. I can't remember them all, but you know, and in case if those didn't notice, Overwatch is really about transhumanism, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you that it's all about fighting against the Omnics, and, which it's almost safe to say that the Omnics in Overwatch is really talking about our people, the Israelites. I mean, especially if you read the story on how Omnics are treated, the Omnics is really, but they're not going to tell you that. Just like in the movie Planet of the Apes, they're not going to tell you that the apes is really talking about Israelites. In the video game Halo, Halo is all about fighting against the Covenant, and the Covenant come in the form of these beings that travel around in UFOs and all this other shit. You see, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, oh no, these are just aliens, and you got to stop them from invading planet Reach and Earth. Nah, see, but you see, from time to time again, Esau make all these games, and he'll call them by different names, but he won't tell you that they're what they're really referring to. But anyways, that's just my opinion. My opinion is that the Omnics is really talking about the Israelites. And the Omnics in Overwatch is really talking about the Israelites. But I mean, I don't know, man. That's just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but let's get back on this.
Anything that provides you with sensory inputs from the outside world or an external source. These inputs are then returned back into your brain, where you can process them. But you need something artificial in your head to return this data to. Now don't worry, it's not like putting a CPU inside your head. It's actually quite tiny. Each Neuralink N1 chip is roughly 4x4 millimeters with 1,000 electrodes each. It's feasible to fit up to 10 of these inside your head in different areas. All to measure electrodes each.
My goodness.
It's feasible to fit up to 10 of these inside your head in
10 of them. That's all I need to, that's all I need to read there. let's go to I'll put the link to this video in the description. Hold on a second. There, I'll do this.
Different areas, all to measure and affect different parts of your brain. But companies and
So I'll do this. Copy. King James. You see, merging man with machine, it all goes back to Esau's sorcery. You see that? Goes back to his sorcery. Let me do that real quick. So, see. Let's go to, what am I looking for here? Isaiah chapter 47, verse I guess I can just start at verse 1. Okay, let's read Isaiah 47 and 1. Okay, Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. You see that? Thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Okay. So these devils, they're not going to get it. They're not going to. The Lord is not going to allow them to get away with, you know, merging man with machine. Because I mean, you look at a robot, right? A robot is fully controllable. You can control a robot, even if it's through a remote control. A robot can be controlled. Well, they want to fuse men with machine, so they can have full control over them. Okay. Take the millstones and grind mill. Okay. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Okay. Thy nakedness, which is what? Their wickedness, shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man, because when Yahweh shall returns, he's coming back in his angelic form. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And what was the ancient Chaldeans known for? Their sorcery, their witchcraft. Who are the modern day Chaldeans today? That's the Illuminati, the self-proclaimed Illuminati, the illuminated ones. Okay, who claim to be the bearers of the light. Okay, they're the ones who's practicing this sorcery, this witchcraft of transhumanism and merging man with machine, making cyborgs, which that's what a cyborg is. A cyborg is a person who has been merged with machine. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and have given them to thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou heavily laid thy yoke. Okay. So, therefore, hear now this, thou art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, in thine mind, I am, and none else beside me, and I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, which is going to be an hour. So the Lord is going to make a speedy riddance of this place in 1 hour. The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of what? Of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Okay, and what is a enchantment? That's like a enchantment is when you're basically you're basically speaking a particular spell, because there is a such thing as being able to speak spells. I mean, that stuff is real. They don't just put them in video games like, for no reason. No, you know they're able to like put spells on people through words. That's when the enchantment is. A enchantment is basically a spell. It's a spell that you speak. Putting curses on people is a enchantment. Matter of fact, just for edification's sake, let's look up the word enchant. Okay, what do we get from enchant? Enchant, excuse me. Enchantment, okay. Okay, so what do we have here, right? We have fill someone with great delight, charm, okay. And down here, what do we see? Put someone or something under a spell, bewitch. And it's all done through what? Words. Okay, captivate, charm, delight, beguile. How do you beguile someone? Through words. Spellbind, ensnare, which is a trap. Hypnotize, mesmerize, divert, absorb, engross, rivet, grip, transfix, tickle someone pink, bow someone over, get under someone's skin, okay, rapture. And the opposite of enchant is what? Repel, bore. You see? You see? What does it mean to enchant something? Let's see what they do. Okay. Enchant, verb, enchant, to influence by charms and magic, bewitch. So there you go. Okay. And what is a charm? Let's look up the word charm real quick for edification. Okay. The power or quality of giving delight or arousing admiration. And isn't that what they was doing with that whole Neuralink thing? Giving people delight, arousing admiration. You see, and what do you see down here? Attractiveness. See, an attractive or alluring characteristic. And that's exactly what they're doing with this whole transhumanism thing. They're making it alluring, attractive. Which is why a lot of people is going to get tricked. A lot of people is going to be lured into accepting the MOTB, because they're going to see this whole Neuralink thing as something attractive, alluring. They're going to see it as something that is arousing admiration. They're going to see it as something delightful. Okay. So let's come back up here, right? So your enchantments, but in this case Esau's demonic enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, which transhumanism is a part of their wickedness, right? Thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine mind, I am and none else beside me. You see? Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with what? With the multitude of thy sorceries. Okay, and this whole transhumanism agenda is all a part of their sorcery, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. Right, labored meaning what? Have studied. Okay, studied. And a matter of fact, just real quick, let's go here. Okay, is that Ezekiel 28 Bible? Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, KJV. Just look that up. Yep, that is Ezekiel 28. Okay. Okay, so it says Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret they can hide from me. Secret concerning what? Knowledge. The knowledge in wickedness. You know? Because they meditate on these things. And the proof of that is when we go to the book of Psalms, chapter 73. And I'll just hit verse 1 real quick, okay? And then let's hit Central F here for Control Find. Central F, which is how you find particular words or phrases. And then we're going to type in deep. Every one of them is deep. They accomplish a diligent search. Search out iniquities. You see, their eyes stand out with fatness, and they have more than heart could wish. Okay, let me see. So, in order to save time, let's do this. Let's type in Google and let's type in Bible. They search out iniquities. They accomplish, KJV. I wouldn't mind looking it up. Okay, so it's Psalm 64. Okay. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 6. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish, meaning they complete. They have completed a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart and the mind is deep. You see that? Because who the hell comes up with the idea of merging mankind with machine? A machine that is controllable through satellites, through the receiving of mass information from satellites. Because think about it, how are we able to access the internet? How are we able to play video games online? It's through the constant mass information that these computers, well, not really computers, but the chip inside the motherboard of the computers, constantly receiving mass information from satellites, which are above the clouds of the sky, which are above the atmosphere of the sky, giving off strong frequency signals. And now you start to see why they want to put a CHIP inside your brain. So they can send mass information and signals to that device inside your brain. So they can control your thoughts, your emotions, you know, your way of reasoning. Okay, so let's go back to Isaiah. Okay, so that was Psalm 64. That was Ezekiel 28. Okay. So Isaiah chapter 47 verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, wherein thou hast studied from thy youth. Okay, if so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Okay, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's go to 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. And then we're going to do this. Hit that. And then, okay. So this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God. And who's doing that? Who's sitting, who's proclaiming himself to sit in the seat of God? That's Esau, the Edomites, starting with the so-called elites and the higher echelon in amongst the Illuminati. These are the ones who are proclaiming themselves to be God, the Most High here on earth. That's who's proclaiming to do that, which is what? Blaspheme. Okay? Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is as God, sitteth in the temple of God. Sitteth in the temple of God. And what's the temple of the Most High? The Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indians. Okay? And how do he intend on sitting in the temple of the Most High? How does Esau intend on sitting in the temple of the Most High, which are his people, the Israelites? Because we, the Israelites, we are the temple of the Heavenly Father. Okay, so how does Esau plan on going about sitting in the temple of the Most High? By putting a device inside of your brain, by putting a CHIP inside your body. That's how he intends on sitting in the temple of Yahweh. Okay, showing himself that he is God. Through what? Through controlling your thoughts, your emotions, your way of reasoning, your morality. Okay? Remember ye not when I was with you, when I had told you these things? Okay? And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. Okay? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So what I would like to do is go to the Blue Letter Bible and let's look up this definition. Let's look up this word for iniquity. I wonder if they have the NCV version here as well. NCV. They probably do, or they probably don't. Please excuse me for that. New translation selector. What? Come on, man. Can I just get to it? Let me see. Procrastination does not help. So it would appear they don't have the NCV here. But I see they have the NLT, which is also a good reference. Do they have the GNT in here? They don't have the Good News Translation in here either. The NCV I found to be a really interesting translation. I'm gonna start using the NCV more often as well. So let's go to Isaiah, right? Chapter 47. We're gonna do this. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 7. I'm just gonna scroll on down because I already know it's past. It's already down past 7. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. It's like my thoughts are kind of all over the place right now. So much edification is being brought out here, and ye know that for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Okay, so here we go. Let's click on this and let's click on iniquity. Okay, so iniquity goes back to the Greek anomia. Let's play it.
Strong's G 458. Anomia. Anomia.
Okay, I hate speaking Greek. Anomia. Anyways, what does it say? The condition without laws, because ignorant of it, because of violating contempt and violation of law, iniquity, wickedness. So they don't really give you much here, right? Transgression, iniquity, which ultimately that's what iniquity is, right? Transgression of the law. But let's go back to the root word etymology of it. Let's see what we get here. Anomos, which is where you get what? Animosity. Okay. Destitute of the Mosaic law of the Gentiles, which are the Israelite foreigners, departing from the law, a violator of the law, lawless, wicked, and that's Esau. Okay, he's a lawless person. He's a violator of the law. Okay, even though the law, statutes, and commandments was never given to him, still, that does not change the fact that he is a violator of the law. And then shall that wicked be revealed, 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and what? Lying wonders. And transhumanism is what? That's a sign. Okay, because there's power behind Esau's technology. Don't get me wrong, but guess what? That's still what? That's a wicked power on the left hand side. Esau's technology, computers, machines. That's all wickedness on the left hand side. With all power, what? Signs and what? Lying wonders. Now let's look up the definition for lying wonders. Since we looked up iniquities, right? And what do we see here? Pseudos. Okay. Of course, he's going to say pseudos.
Strong's G 5579. Pseudos. Pseudos.
Okay. Pseudos. Pseudos. Nah. I hate speaking Greek. It just, man, it gets my neurons in my brain just running when I speak that bastard language. Anyways, it says what? A lie. That's the first thing at the top there. Conscious and intentional falsehood. You see that, man? It says, in a broad sense, whatever is not what it seems to be. And that's what transhumanism is. They make it seem like it's this, you're surpassing the human limits, and you're able to, with these robotic legs, you can run for hours at a time and not get tired, and you're able to jump 10 feet up in the air and do all these backflips. But there's a catch behind it. Now they're able to control your movement. If they tell you to get up out of bed and do something and you don't do it, guess what? They can control your robotic legs and take you to that destination. Hell, they can even make you jump into the deep part of the river against your will and basically cause you to drown. Okay, and then right here we see what? We see perverse, which is where you get pervert from. A pervert is somebody who perverts their way. Okay, a pervert is a wicked person. They're basically perverse from the way of righteousness, and pious, deceitful precepts. Okay, so there you go, lying wonders, and that's what we're dealing with here. Okay, and then if we look up the definition, if we look up the word for wonders, it's terras.
Strong's G 5059. Teras. Teras.
Okay, so you heard it. Scroll down here, and what do we see? Wonder, a prodigy, portent, and what do you see right here? Miracle performed by anyone. Okay, let's read that again. Miracle performed by anyone. And that's exactly what these devils are doing. You know, a lot of people, they're going to see this Neuralink device. Excuse me. A lot of people is going to see this Neuralink device as some kind of miracle, right? Which is terras, wonders, right? They're going to see it as some kind of miracle because they're going to be able to walk again, see again, hear again. You know, they might have been born with no legs. You know, now they have these robotic thighs, these robotic legs, they have these robotic feet. You know, they're able to do all kind of features that they were unable to do before. This is what they want. So these are all signs and lying wonders. Okay, which the word lying means what? A lie, conscious and intentional falsehood. So this is intentional falsehood wonders that these devils are presenting to the people. So yeah, Cyborg Soldier 2050, their inward thought, right, is that their houses shall continue forever. That's why they're talking about the 2050. Look, there ain't going to be no 2050. This country is through. This could be the year this country goes down. Okay, but yeah, fusing human with machine, witchcraft and sorcery. With that, I'm going to say shalom. So on to the next one.